Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you to Sandy for joining me this morning on this panel as we begin to get ready to mastermind and help you to propel to the next level. This is Rachel Kelly, the Fear Coach, coming to you from the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. We're here to encourage you to propel past fear and to achieve the things that you desire in your life. Today we're going to be talking about and reading on the power of your words and how your words can either speak life or death into your life. So good morning, Sandy. I appreciate you coming along here for the ride and for the journey. I'm excited about having you here. I want to say thank you to our listeners for coming in and joining us this morning. We won't hold you. We're going to go ahead and get started. We are still reading out of Creative Visualization. So if you do not have that book, you can go to the link that I sent out this morning and be able to download that. Just look in the live feed and you'll find the link there. And if not, if you can't find it there, just go to Google and type in Creative Visualization PDF, and you'll be able to find the book that way. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, couple seconds to find it. We're going to start on page number 124, and it's called Invocations. I'll give you a minute to look at that. I'm going to go over here to the live feed and make sure you have that link posted here right there at the top so you can download that book. Okay, so, we're talking about our words have power, bringing life to your life, bringing energy, or you can actually take away energy from your life. And I'm loving it because I have Sandy on this hangout with me, who is a life coach. So I'm sure she's going to bring a lot of value to this particular discussion and hangout. Sandy, would you like to read, or would you prefer I do the reading? She's on mute, so it's going to take her a couple of seconds here to come out.
Oh, hi Sharon. Hi Rachel. Sorry. What I'll do, and good morning, listeners. What I will do is I'm just going to open the book up. So if you like to start, and then I can then find the page, and then if you want me to read, a little bit, I can do that as well.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'll go ahead and get started on Creative Visualization, and we are on page number 124. If you type in the top of the box where it says the number /194. So you would type in 124 there. If you don't have the same PDF, then we're going to be starting on 109, the actual PDF book. And it says, to invoke means to call in or to call upon. When used in meditation, invocation is a technique with which you can summon any type of energy or quality to come to you. Close your eyes and relax deeply. Do some type of preparatory meditation, such as grounding and running energy, or opening the energy channel, or simply going to your sanctuary. Relaxing and breathing deeply for a while. When you feel relaxed, energized, say to yourself silently, yet firmly and clearly, I now call forth the quality of love. Feel the energy of love coming to you, or coming out from someplace inside of you, filling you up and radiating out from you. Remain for a few minutes, totally experiencing the feeling. Then, if you wish, direct it toward any particular goal through visualization and affirmation. You can use the power of invocation to summon any quality of energy that you want or need. Strength, wisdom, serenity, compassion, softness, warmth, clarity, intelligence, creativity, healing power. Simply make a strong, clear statement to yourself that this quality is now coming to you. Another wonderful way to use the power of invocation is to summon the spirit of essence of a particular person who has qualities that you desire. If you invoke one of the masters, such as Buddha, Christ, or Mary, you're calling forth the universal qualities which that person symbolizes, which also lie within each of us. For example, if you call for Christ to work in you and through you, you are summoning in a very powerful way your own qualities of love, compassion, and forgiveness and healing ability. If there is any particular master, teacher, or hero with whom you resonate, call upon him or her through invocation whenever you feel the need to manifest his or her special qualities within you. This type of meditation works beautifully when there is a special skill or talent that you wish to cultivate. For example, if you are studying music or art, call upon any great master in these fields whom you especially admire. Picture him or her supporting and helping you, and feel the person's creative energy and genius flowing through you. It is not necessary to incorporate any personal problems or weaknesses he or she may have had. You are summoning the person in his or her highest aspect. Many visualizing amazing results can be achieved through this meditation. Okay, and we'll go to the next one. It says ways to use affirmations. There are so many ways that affirmations can be used powerfully and effectively to give you a more positive, creative outlook and to help you achieve specific goals. Remember, it's important to feel relaxed as you affirm. Do not be addicted to getting results. Remember that you already are everything you need. Every improvement is just icing on the cake. In meditation, say affirmations to yourself silently while meditating or relaxing deeply, especially right before going to sleep or right after awakening. Spoken. I say them to yourself silently or aloud through the day whenever you think of it, especially while driving, doing housework, or during the other routine tasks. 2, say them to yourself aloud while looking at yourself in the mirror. This is especially good for affirmations to improve your self-esteem and self-love. Look yourself right in the eyes and affirm your beauty, lovableness, and worthiness. If you feel uncomfortable, stick with it until you push through those barriers and are able to fully experience looking at yourself and loving yourself. You may find that some emotions arise and is released through this process. Record your affirmations on a tape recorder and play them to yourself around the house while driving, and so on. Use your name and try doing them in the first, second, and third person. For example, I, Shakita, am deeply relaxed and centered in myself. Shakita, you are deeply relaxed and centered in yourself. Shakita is deeply relaxed and centered in herself. Or you can record a little speech, maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs long, describing your ideal visualization of yourself or a particular situation as if it were already true. This also can be done in the first, second, and third person. Sandy, you want to pick up from there where it says written? Did you find it yet?
Hi, Rachel. Okay, that's great. So
Hi,
I will.
Lisa.
Yeah, you've got to written. Okay. Thank you. Written. Take a particular affirmation and write it 10 or 20 times in succession, really thinking about the words you write as you write them. Change the affirmation as you go along if you think of better ways to say it. This is one of the most powerful techniques I have found and one of the easiest to do. I've devoted a chapter to this in part 4. Write or type out affirmations and paste them in various places around your house or at your job as reminders. Good places are on the refrigerator, on your phone, on your mirror, on your desk, over your bed, or on your dining table. With others, if you have a friend who wants to work on affirmations as well, you can do them very effectively with a partner. Sitting facing each other, look into each other's eyes, and take turns saying affirmations to each other and accepting them. So, for example, David, Linda, you are a beautiful, loving, and creative person. Linda, yes, I know, or yes, I am. Repeat this 10 or 15 times the same way, then switch partners so that Linda says the affirmation to David and he agrees with it. Then try it in the first person. David, I am David and I'm a beautiful, loving and creative person. Linda, yes, you certainly are. Repeat this several times.
Okay.
I'll let you take over, Rachel. Thanks.
I didn't know if you wanted to. I didn't know if you were stopping or not. You can keep going.
Okay. Be sure to say the affirmations sincerely and meaningful. Even if you feel a little silly at first, it's a wonderful opportunity to outflow love and support to another person, and to really support the other person in changing his or her negative concepts into positive ones. It's practically guaranteed that after doing this process together, you will be experiencing a deep, loving space together. In a more formal way, ask your friends to say affirmations to you frequently. For example, if you want to affirm that you are learning to express yourself more easily, you might ask a good friend to say to you often, "Jeannie, you are certainly speaking out and expressing yourself clearly these days." Make a game out of doing this for each other, and you will find it helpful. We automatically tend to give a lot of power to what our friends say to us, for good or bad. Our minds tend to accept what others tell us about ourselves. So getting strong, positive feedback from friends in the form of affirmation really works. Begin to include affirmations in your conversations, making strong, positive statements about things and people, including yourself, that you want to see in a more positive way. It's amazing what dramatic changes can be made in your life by just beginning to speak consciously, can be made in your life by just beginning to consciously speak more positively in daily conversation. Does somebody else want to take over?
Lisa, did you want to read anything? Lisa, are you there? I can finish that.
Okay.
A word of caution: do not use this technique in such a way that you feel like you are contradicting your true feelings. Do not use it when you are feeling upset or strongly negative, or it will feel like you are repressing yourself. Use it from a constructive space to help change your unconscious negative speech patterns and underlying assumptions. Singing and chanting. Make a point of learning songs that affirm the reality you would like to create for yourself. Listen to them and sing them often. A large part of our present conscious has been formed by popular music, which creates a reality in which we feel hopelessly dependent on our lovers who die if they left us. Wonder if life is worth living if we can't have a certain person, and so on. Make up your own song or simple chant using the affirmations you want to work with. More affirmations. Accepting ourselves. I accept myself completely here and now. I love myself completely as I am, and I'm getting better all the time. I accept all my feelings as part of myself. I'm beautiful and lovable, however I'm feeling. None of my feelings are negative. They are all important parts of who I am. I'm now willing to experience all my feelings. It's good to express my feelings. I now give myself permission to express my feelings. I love myself when I express my feelings. Feeling good. It's okay for me to have fun and enjoy myself, and I do. I like to do things that make me feel good. I am deeply relaxed and centered. I now feel deep inner peace and serenity. I'm glad I was born, and I love being alive. Relationships. My relationships are mirrors that show me myself. I am now learning from all my relationships. My relationships are helping me to heal and love myself. I am strong, vulnerable, and loving in my relationships. I deserve love and sexual pleasure. I'm now ready to accept a happy, fulfilling relationship. I am now ready for my relationship to work. I love myself, and I naturally attract loving relationships into my life. Where's the next one at? Okay, I am now attracting exactly the kind of relationships I want. I am now divinely irresistible to my perfect mate. All difficulties between me and blank are now being healed. The more I love myself, the more I love blank. I love blank, and blank loves me. Opening creativity. I am now an open channel for creative energy. Creative ideas and inspirations are coming to me every day. I am the creator of my life. I am now creating my life exactly as I want it. Divine love and guidance. The divine love is doing the perfect work in this situation now for the good of all concerned. Divine love and light are working through me now. Divine love goes before me and prepares the way. God is showing me the way now. My inner wisdom is guiding me now. I am now being guided to the perfect solution to this problem. The light within me is creating miracles in my body, mind, and affairs here and now. I think this is a good place to stop because I don't want to, and there's so many great points that we can discuss and that we can bring out and that we can talk about. So I want to stop here, and I kind of want to go back to the beginning portion when we talked about invocation, and that was inviting someone in, whether it be the Holy Spirit, whether it be Buddha, whoever it is that you believe in, inviting them into your life. And I don't this is a topic that I don't have a lot of knowledge on, again, because I mean this is a very interesting book for me, and I'm learning from a different perspective. So Sandy, Lisa, feel free to jump in and share your thoughts in this particular area, because I'm going to be learning from you. When I read this, I thought, wow, because of a lot of times from where we come from, things like this may kind of like startle you and make you say, wow, like, how do I receive this? And Sandy, I know that that you believe in God, you believe in the Holy Spirit, and I know the same about Lisa. So I think that this is going to be really good for us to kind of dive in for those people who believe like we do, and even those that don't, and that's all. It's okay. I'm not here to judge you for how you believe. I just want to because I do not know, I have a lot of Christian friends that follow me. So I just want to keep the perspective open as we dialogue and go into this particular conversation. So here it says, when used in meditation, invocation is a technique with which you can summon any type of energy or quality to come in. And then it says you can use the power of invocation to summon any quality energy that you want. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about summoning, and it came in and talked about, if you invoke one of the masters, such as Buddha or Christ and Mary, you're calling forth the universal qualities in which the person symbolizes. Let's talk about that. Sandy, you have any thoughts on that? Lisa, you have any thoughts on either one of those? What I just read there?
Yeah, I would say that, I mean, I just loved the chapter that, both chapters that you read, Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just right up my street, because I just love that. And I'm always saying to people that whatever you're telling yourself, you're going to get. So we are the greatest obstacles in our lives. People will say, "Well, I'm not very good at that," or a very common one I tend to find is people of different nationalities that don't know English. It's not their first language. They'll always come to me and they'll say, "Oh, I have to apologise for my English. I don't speak very good English." And I have to say to them, "You're amazing. Your English is so perfect." And they're like, "We can't," they can't believe that I've said that to them, because they're looking at themselves and they're putting themselves down. So, I have to sort of pick them up and say, "No, your English is absolutely perfect." So I think that's sort of a sort of fear, a sort of belief that they're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's just on a different sort of angle, but that just came to me out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I'm always saying as well to people that whatever you say out loud, you are confessing. And that is very, very important. And I think it's fantastic because, if you are a spiritual person and you do read the Bible, you can pick up the Bible and you can actually read a lot of, inspirational statements which will give you the power, to move forward and to do things. There's too many people that procrastinate. If you're not spiritual, you have got other ways of telling yourself things, to make you feel good, to make you feel better, because all of this is all to do with you. It's nothing to do with anybody else. And I think this book that Rachel has got is fantastic for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're spiritual or you're not, you're not connected to the Lord. You need to just have that inner peace for you, and every single human being out there, needs to have that peace. But how do you get there? How do you find it? And the way that you have to find it is have some self-talk, because a lot of people don't love themselves. A lot of people look at what is happening from outside and take on what people are saying about them, and that is not right. The way that you get happiness in this life is for it to flow out from within you. So when you actually love yourself and when you're happy about you, you will find that you actually attract people to you. If you say, for example, walk down the road and you were miserable, you would find that people wouldn't want to come near you, and you'd be having a more miserable time. But if you actually were smiling, you'd find that so many people would actually come and attract to you. So this is another thought as well. If you're walking down the street and you see somebody that's really miserable, you should actually smile at them. And even if they don't even smile back, at least you've sent something out there. You've sent it out into the universe for them. So, I might be going off a little off pat with what Rachel's saying, but it's just, I just speak with my feelings on my thoughts. So I just hope that helps people to understand that, because all of us, we really and truly are in charge of our lives, of our feeling. And if you're not feeling happy, you're not feeling good, the best thing to do really is to make somebody else feel good, because then that will make you feel good. It's a bit like chucking a stone into a pond and it ripples out. I mean, this subject is just so deep, Rachel. So that's just my thoughts at the moment. But you know me, I can chat forever, so I won't. I'll let you. I'll hand over to is it Lisa? I can see her smiling there on the camera.
Wow, Sandy, that was really great. I need to come on to this. I want to take off my camera so I can really see you all. That was great information, and you always bring so much knowledge to the table. Here's my sapphire. I mean, and when I just think about like you're telling us that we should be smiling even when we don't feel like smiling. We should do something for someone else when we don't feel like it. And I can actually agree with you. I think this past week has been one of the most difficult weeks that I've had in a long time.
Really?
And what's so interesting is that I actually stopped by this morning. The weight had begun to get so heavy, and and I kept looking for my sanctuary over the weekend. I kept looking for this place where I can get really quiet. But as I've shared, I have a family, and every room that I desire to go to, it's full. It's full with some kind of noise in it, and I couldn't find that sanctuary. So I was actually counting down for today. Like, I can't wait till Monday gets here. The kids will be gone to school. Hubby be at work, and I can find my sanctuary. And so, like, when I was dropping my son off to school, I began to think, okay, I've created a habit, and my habit has been, after I drop him off, come home, get straight to work. I need to change that. But instantly, as I was coming home, my mind started gearing towards this, like what I need to do, and so instantly I was like, nope. So you got to recognize what's going on. And so I recognized that I said that I was going to find my sanctuary, but because I have become so accustomed and used to doing it this way, that I literally, what I said was, nope. I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go by my pastor passed away. So I'm going to go by his wife's house, and I'm going to ask her, I'm going to change my environment, and I'm going to ask her to pray with me. Let's just pray. So I got there, we had a good conversation. We really, really talked. And then, she prayed for me. And then I turned around. I just couldn't just take it as I'm just, like, she's just going to pray for me. I'm going to pray for her too. And after I began to pray for her, that's when I began to really see the shift. And then she said to me, she said, the Lord told me to tell you, think about everything that he's ever done for you and be grateful for that. So, and this is definitely lining up with what you were saying, Sandy, as far as, you know, your smile or doing something for someone else. And I'm telling you, it's just like I like a whole different energy came, and it prepared me for this hangout because I really wasn't feeling like doing this hangout. It's like, I don't want to do this. You know, like I'm not ready to greet anybody on any hangout, you know, and then I stopped by and that happened. So very powerful insight, Sandy. Thank you for sharing. I love you, girl. Okay, we have Miss Lisa Dingman with us this morning. Lisa, what are your thoughts on this particular subject?
Thank you so much, Rachel. I find it very interesting that you had a really hard week last week, because I did too. So I have to tell you, I, like you, was extremely excited to get on and get empowered this morning. So that's pretty amazing. And Sandy, I really enjoyed what you said about what you say out loud, you're confessing, and the self-talk. I know we haven't really hit on that whole self-talk thing yet. And so Rachel and Sandy, I just can't agree with you more on everything that you've said. To say anything more at this point really would be redundant, except for the fact that we are our own worst critics. And it's interesting, I had watched a fellow, and I can't remember what his name was, but he had done a video where he had interviewed a few people and put them on camera, and everybody that looked at the picture had nothing but positive to say about the person that happened to have been on camera, but the person who was on camera looked at themselves and found every flaw possible. So you know, you're your own worst critic, and when you're self-talking yourself down, realize, you know what, that's probably only you that feels that way. And that's where that power of confessing, the power of the affirmations and whatnot really does come into place. So there's my tidbit on that, but that's all I have to say about that little part. I have a lot to say about, like, everything, though, so.
Well, you guys, go ahead, Sandy. Go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
I was finished, but you guys, you covered a lot of different things, and I only, you know, I missed the very beginning. So since you're just touching on the very beginning, I'll stop. But I do have quite a bit to say for the rest of what you were reading. I took a lot of good notes.
Okay, awesome. You know, okay, so when we're talking about, she said in here, she was like, if there was any particular master or teacher or hero with whom you resonate, call upon him or her through invocation whenever you feel the need to manifest his or her special qualities within yourself. I just kind of want to just like stay there for a minute. So if you are, you know, if you are a Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ, then that would be the person that we're speaking of. And then because she's Indian, you know, this is her belief, this is her background. So again, this is something that is used for meditation and wanting to bring in those qualities, it appears to me. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. It is said that if you are studying music or art, call upon any great master in these fields whom you especially admire. Again, that's kind of uncomfortable subject to me, but that's what she says, and I can't argue with her one way or the other because that's what she does. So if you all want to come and correct me, that's great, or you all want to give some other insight into that, I think it would be great, because of the fact that I think, you know, that leaves people that believe a different way kind of, you know, not really sure about that. So I don't know if either one of you have any thoughts in that. And I read that, Lisa, on page number 126. I'm at the very bottom, the last paragraph. It's talking about.
I think what you said about that was incredible, because I would obviously use Jesus Christ, because, you know, when you're feeling a little bit whatever, you just get your Bible out, which, you know, I've actually got beside me anyway, and you've got so much scriptures in there that brings everything to life. But for people that don't read the Bible, I can understand what that lady's saying in regards to. Let's say, I'll give you an example, and I think this would be really good example. People talk about Tiger Woods. So of course, you know, the young children that want to be like Tiger Woods, so what are they doing? They're going down to the golf club, with their father, you know, or mother to play golf. So they want to obviously emulate somebody. So that's why it's good to have good role models in the world, you know. And then I suppose as well, everyone's put on this earth with an actual, you know, you're put on this earth for a purpose. So say, for example, with Tiger Woods, he was put on this earth to play golf. So that was obviously, you know, that's what he was, you know, created for. So, you know, and then that inspires other people to do that. And I'll give you another example. You've probably heard of Richard Branson. Because Lisa, I'm in the UK. So Richard Branson, you've probably all heard of him, you know, Virgin, etc. And I'll give you an example of this. Many times I used to run a lot of training courses on Outlook, which is the email. And I'd always use Richard Branson as an example in one little aspect of the program. And if I'm training Excel, I would also bring Richard Branson into this particular aspect of it as well. Now, I spoke about him so much. Do you know that I got to the train station one day, went to get on a train, and there he was right in front of me, and I put out my hand through the door, the window that was open, and he put his hand out to shake my hand, and we just had a chat, you know. And I realised it's because I'm constantly talking about him, that's why I met him, you know. And I'd sort of written to him before anyway, and he'd responded. Another quick scenario I could give you as well. Before I became a life coach, I actually decided that's what I was going to do. So I actually put this video together on YouTube, which has had over about 50,000 hits since. And on the end of it, I put that Sandy Gray, she's a successful IT trainer, but she's now pursuing a career in life coaching. So I had actually said that I was going to be a life coach before it happened. So then years later, I'm a life coach. So there's a lot of people, if you like, on Facebook, they will put up that they're an entrepreneur. But they're not an entrepreneur, but providing they're taking the steps and taking action, yeah, and also having personal development, and also, you know, have a spiritual side to them as well. I mean, some people don't have that. But if you have all that, then you are going to be moving forward to wherever you want to be. So once again, that's an affirmation in itself, but you're not speaking it out loud. You're actually, even if you're writing it, you know, you could be writing a book and saying, you know, I'm going to be this in 2 years' time. You know, this is where I'm going. You know, and then providing you take the steps, you know, like I took my life coaching courses, etc., then, you know, and then I passed with, you know, A grade, 14 assignments. I praise the Lord for that, you know. So that's just another thought.
Wow, Sandy, you always have such great stuff. My goodness, girl. I just, like, a lot of times I come behind you and I'm speechless because I'm like, she's hit on so many great topics. I really don't think there's anything else that I can really add to that. You did a wonderful job of explaining that. You know, I see some of our listeners, they're saying hi. Hi, Nazim, I see you there. I see your name. Sorry, I just got over here to the questions area. Hi, Khaled. It's great having you here. Let me see, who else do we have here? I just want to say thank you, yes. And if you have any questions, you have any thoughts, you have any ideas, please type them inside of the question box, and so that we can share those also here on the Hangout and with those that are listening. And remember, there is a little lag time, so go ahead and type those questions in, and I'll come back and check and make sure I don't miss those. Okay, so let's talk about ways to use affirmations. Now, what I've come to find out is if you're not a person who has used affirmations before, this can be, I'm not going to say uncomfortable, but it can be, it takes getting used to. If it's something that you don't do, it goes right back to what we talked about on Friday when we talked about time management, managing your schedule. You know, if you're not used to doing this, then affirmations is something that you need to put into your schedule. You actually, you want to plug it in as if you are plugging in, that you need to go to the grocery store, or that, you have a business meeting. You want to make sure you plug this into your calendar so that you can make sure you do it, because if you don't, then it's not going to get done. In that, one of the really important things that was brought out was when you're doing affirmations, that you want to make sure that you are relaxed. You don't want to be addicted to getting results. And to always remember that everything you need, every improvement is just icing on the cake. So you don't worry about the rest of that stuff. Just know that once you're improving, it's just going to make you be more effective. It's going to make your life so much better. So I thought that was really important. And some of the things that they talked about was, saying your affirmations silently while meditating, while you're relaxed, and that's before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning. Spoken, say to yourself silently or aloud throughout the day. Whenever you think about it, when you drive your car or wherever, that's another way. Say them to yourself while you are in the mirror. Look in the mirror and say those affirmations to yourself. Another one was to record them on a tape recorder, or nowadays we don't have tape recorders, but we have our MP3s or our cell phones. Just record that on here. And they talk about doing it in first, second, and third person. Writing it down in a different way. Also, they talked about pasting them on your mirror or all over your house. You put them everywhere so that you are able to see them, because a lot of times what happens if they're not before us and we don't constantly see them, we'll forget because we get so busy with life. There's so many things going on in our life, but once we put them before ourselves, then they're not as difficult to remember that we need to do them. And I love this one when they talked about doing your affirmations with someone else. You actually doing those affirmations with another person is really, really powerful. Ladies, what are your thoughts? You want to come in and jump in on this particular portion right here?
Sure, I'll come in. I really did. I like to, first of all, you have resources, and so right now I want to talk about.
Ran already, but I didn't put them out there because they're not taped right. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted.
I thought you were talking to me. Sandy Gallagher talks about the importance of writing things down. She had done a training once on the Serenity Prayer, and I know a lot of people are familiar with the very basic part of the Serenity Prayer. But one of the things that she had talked about is that when you write down the complete Serenity Prayer, 10 times every single day, that the information really, really gets into your head. And so it's interesting because she really did teach me the importance of writing things down. So that mirrors what was said there. And then as far as taping your affirmations everywhere, it was Vic Johnson who had mentioned that worked amazingly for him. And a lot of people think, well, that's crazy that you have all of this taped all over your house. But you know what? He's another person who has confirmed it works. Another thing that he had taught me, another great tool for our listeners, is that he took business cards that were old. I took my little index cards and just made them really small. And each one of these have a really amazing affirmation, be it, an affirmation from God that, God has given me strength, or an affirmation for myself and my power. And what he did was he placed these little cards in his car, and every time he stopped at the stoplight, he would go ahead and go through those. So I think that is an awesome tool. I've used it myself because, again, we're our own worst enemies, and we have to think about what we're saying to ourselves. And repetition, we all know as homeschoolers, is the mother of learning. And so, just as we would practice our multiplication tables with our kids, we need to practice the food that we're putting into our head, and those are the positive thoughts that we have. So I really loved how we want to change that negative concept. And getting a partner, I've never heard of that one, Rachel. That one, you think about it and you get someone else who is like-minded like you, and imagine if you're doing that all the time, how you would just change your dialogue that you speak, every day and whatnot. So when friends say the affirmation, I'm going to have to really think about getting that one together, because that is amazing information there. So speaking consciously. And yeah, there was a great list of affirmations that we read on here today, and all of them just amazing, amazing. I've used them all, and great information. Thank you.
Yes, I must agree. I like, like you mentioned about the, saying it 10 times. And I think even in our reading, the same thing, 10 times and saying it over and over again. And the more we say it, the more we become it, the more it becomes real to us. It just becomes a part of our life. So I think that, wow, it's so amazing how once we become consistent. But if you're not used to it, if it's not a habit, then you can kind of like fall off. So it's really, really important that you do, I'm thinking like having these affirmations all over your house so that you can remember, so that you can make it a habit in your life.
And you know what, Rachel, it was really interesting, really quickly, that they gave you not only a list of affirmations, but for every area of your life. So like you're saying, putting it all over your house, when you're putting your affirmations in your bathroom where you're getting ready, those could be the affirmations of I am beautiful, I am worthy, God's love is in me. When you're in your kitchen, those could be the affirmations of we eat healthy, we only buy healthy food, we don't snack. There's affirmations that you can use for every single area of your life, and like you're saying, when you're not used to them, but if you put them all throughout your house, then you do get used to them, and then they just become part of your mental thought and your mental talk.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. One of our listeners wrote in here, it says, I require a good set of affirmations to love myself and insist on motivating me. I think that's so powerful. I am that. Says Phil at the end. So I think that's really, really awesome that you have those, because a lot of times we don't. And if you stop and think about it, in life, most of the time, all we hear are the negatives. And if we don't give ourselves good, positive affirmations, where are we going to get them from? You stop and think about it. Everything you look at the news, everything is negative. When you walk out, everything is negative. Unless you get around some really, really positive people, it's hard to find that. So if we're not giving ourselves those affirmations, where are they going to come from? So Phil, I think that's awesome that you have a good set of affirmations to love yourself and the system motivating you. And I'd like to encourage our listeners to do the same. Get a good set of affirmations. And the book that we have here have some really, really good ones. So if you haven't downloaded that book, I highly recommend that you download it. And, you can actually take them and fit them around your life. You can fit them around what you want. Just use it as a template or a base for you to get started. So great stuff. Hey, we haven't heard from Sandy in a while. Sandy's over here being quiet. Sandy, what do you have to say about affirmations?
Oh, hi. Yeah, no, I've been taking it all in and everything, and what Lisa was saying was great. Yeah, affirmations, they have worked for me without any doubt. I remember a scenario. I was 2006. I wanted to get to Florida with a network marketing company that I was working for, and they had a conference, and I needed to get a certain amount of people, and I actually found the list the other day, and I remember putting it on my bathroom mirror, saying that I was going to go to Florida, and I typed it all up, and I put it on my bathroom mirror, I put it on my fridge, and what's actually happening when you do that is it keeps you focused, because you have something to focus on. As Lisa said, as also Rachel said, if you have goals and things that you want to achieve, but you only have them in your head, then you can easily forget, because you've got kids, you've got a situation, and everything just goes out the window. So what you can do for yourselves, just like what Lisa was saying, is have your affirmations, typed up or written out, and then put on the bathroom mirror, as you're preparing for work. Just spot on with what Lisa said. That was exactly what I was, thinking. You put it on the bathroom mirror. You put it on the place where you frequent most. You know, you go to the fridge if you're driving in the car. You have all of this just written out or typed up and just posted, so that every time you get in your car, you remember. And it helps you to think, because just as what Rachel said, there is just so much negativity out there in the world. So if you've got something good to focus on, you know, where you want to go, then the only way that you can really do it is by feeding yourself and just really and truly taking that quiet time to sit down and plan out and work out exactly what you want. And I'll give you another example. When things start to happen, this might be something different, but you know, it's like if you want a particular car and you go to the showroom and you like this car, then you know you haven't quite got the car yet, but every single where you go, you're going to start seeing this car and you're going to start seeing that color. You know, I remember when I went to Las Vegas, it was when was it, 2006 I went to Las Vegas, but it was amazing because when I said, right, we're all going to Las Vegas, a whole crowd of us, it was this December, all I kept seeing on the TV was trips to Las Vegas. So, you know, so it's quite really. So every single one of us can really and truly have anything that we want in this life. What you have to do is bury the noise and bury the negativity that is around you. Just like what Rachel said, where this world is so full of it, you know, you really need to rise up and just aim for what you want. You know, if you want to go to the moon, just plan it. You know, just put a picture on the moon and just, you know, just put it on your bathroom mirror. Whatever, ever you want. You know, if you want to be a doctor, whatever it is that you want, get a picture of a doctor. You know, just get a picture of the place where you want to practice. Because I tell you, when you start to do that, you're just going to find that things will start to happen. And you're actually putting it out there to the universe. You know, you're putting it out there to the universe. And the universe will rearrange everything for you so that you get what you want. And you'll be amazed. But you have to have that strong power of intent. And when I say strong power of intent, have that thought that you definitely want it. You know, this is what I actually want. This is what I want. You know, it could be a job, it could be whatever it is you want. All you have to do is have that strong intention. Put it out there to the universe. You know, everybody can start taking action with all what we've just said. They can do it straight away today and start turning your life around today by simply just putting all that, you know, pictures, affirmations on your bathroom mirror, you know, the places that you frequent, you know, on the lunchbox, whatever. You can do it. Every single one of you out there listening to this, you can do it. You really and truly can. And it'll be just so wonderful if next week people come back to Rachel and say, Rachel, this is what's happened, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that helps.
Well, Rachel is muted, so I just love what you just said, Sandy. Thank you. That was amazing. And I wanna just touch really quickly too then on taping your affirmations or you know, putting them on a recording. This is another thing that I have used to help me, because let me tell you what, I've got a messed up head in here, or I used to have one. But anyways, you know, your programs typically on your computer, you can listen to a YouTube and like a video that you have or whatever on your computer simultaneously. And a really good tool that you can use is to get on YouTube, plug into one of those links that have those mind meditation sound waves, and you know, have your recording of what your voice is, and you play those simultaneously. And now what you're doing is, rather than just reading it to yourself, you're really listening to yourself. You're falling into a trance with yourself. You're letting the alpha and the theta waves and all of those help your brain really, absorb the information. And that's a great way to relax into your affirmations. Of course, having them all around you constantly all the time is great, but really deeping, getting it into your subconscious is another really great tool to study with that by. And there you go. Thank you.
Wow. Sandy, and then Lisa comes along and follows with some other great things. And Sandy, one of the things that you mentioned was how crucial it is to paste those everywhere, how crucial it is to have them in every aspect of your life, because truthfully, we say that we want something, but my question to you is, how bad do you want it? And if you really want it as bad as you say that you want it, then you would go and post your affirmations all over your house. Someone would actually think that, you wouldn't care about if someone comes over your house and they see an affirmation on your mirror because they go in your bathroom. It wouldn't matter. What it really boils down to is, how bad do you want it? Because if you want it bad enough, you will do it. And a lot of times in life, we'll say that we want something, but we don't take the action necessary in order to get what we want. And we've shared with you this morning how powerful affirmations are. They've changed the lives of so many people. So I'd like to challenge our listeners. I'd like to challenge our panel. If we don't have our affirmations, I'd like to challenge myself. If we don't have the affirmations that we desire, to go and write them down. Go write them down. Don't do like many of us do, and that is, I want that, or I'm going to do that. But we procrastinate and we never get it done. We never take that next step. On Friday, we talked about time management. We talked about our schedules. Did we actually take the action in order to make that happen? It's never going to happen if we don't take the action. So really, really powerful point, Sandy, that you brought out about how important that is. But if we really, really want the things that we say that we want, then there's some things necessary for us to do in order to get them. And we do know that affirmations are crucial to the entire process. And then Lisa turns around and she just puts icing on the cake about getting in a quiet place, getting to the point where, where I think she said alpha, and just kind of like, that's probably like the best place to get relaxed. Now, Lisa, you brought out something good, something very interesting about YouTube and taking your own voice. I don't know how to do that, so maybe you one day can come and give us some type of training on how to actually do that, put the two together. What I've done is there's a I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Christian one that kind of like, you can listen to it and it gets you really relaxed. And it just speaks God's word into my life. So I use that one, and it does kind of the same. It tells me to relax and breathe deeper, breathe deep, and et cetera, et cetera. So I know there's all different ones out there, but I think it's interesting how you brought out the one on YouTube where you can actually listen to it and then interject your voice to that. So one day you'll have to share that with us. Oh, look, we have Dante who has joined us. Good morning, Dante. So good to see you this morning. Goodness gracious. Wow, Dante. We have been talking about affirmations, speaking things into our life, the things that we desire. We've been talking about how important it is to post these things, and we also reflected back on Friday when we had a conversation about time management. In order for any of these things to happen, we have to manage our time. We have to make the time to actually write these things down, because a lot of us, we'll say, well, I don't have the time to write it down. Well, you got to put it in your schedule, right? So, Dante, you have anything you want to share with us? Some thoughts about affirmations?
Can you see me? Am I slow so I don't see you guys?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Okay, you can see me then. All right, cool.
All
right,
yeah.
Cool. So, I'm at work, so y'all gotta forgive me. But this is something that I actually do all the time right here. Every Monday I do this. I don't know if you can see it or not. Can you see this?
Well, yeah, I can see it a little bit. Can you put it a little closer? Okay, it says, read it for us, Dante.
On the week, every Monday I do this. So it tells me the week that the week that is in and in. So I sharpen the So I write what I want to do physically. I write what I want to do socially. I don't know if you can see. Let me see.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, we can see it. It's not really clear, but we can see it. Yep.
Okay, cool. I write what I want to do socially, mentally, and spiritually for that week. I also write what I reflected on last week. What I'm going to do as far as my sales in my organization and online, offline. How am I going to help my team out on in my business now and on my online business? So it correlates to everything that I do now. I also have an 80-20 rule here. And also, excuse me, let me go back up here. The people who I want to learn from and people who I want to teach also, and the goals that I should do. So it starts off, like I said, it starts off with what I want to do physically. So I write those out, I say them, and I make sure that I get them done throughout the week. And that helps me out through that helps me out throughout the whole week.
Dante, you still there?
Yes.
You frozen. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Wow. How Dante gonna come in here at the last minute and give us nuggets like that to put the ice
That
on?
was amazing. That was amazing.
Right.
Dante,
So
you look nice and frozen, but we can hear you.
okay.
Thanks, Dante.
Right. So pretty much you do that with your whole team or your a group of people that you have, your inner circle people, and you say what you're gonna do. Also, you let them know what you're gonna do, so you'll be held accountable for it. And once you say it, obviously now you have to do it. So it helps you out both ways. Also, we do positive affirmations. Instead of saying what you can say something positive about yourself, but say a lot say more things positive to people. And if the more you do that, it's gonna come back to you every day, even the times that you forget to do it. People are gonna say it to you because you built up that relationship with them to bring you up and motivate you.
Dante, my friend, look at you. I was like, this was all we needed to solidify and complete the process. Now, Dante, I want to ask you if you could do us a favor.
Okay.
Is it possible for you to get me a copy of that, and then I can put it inside the group, and those people that want that, they can have access to that? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So those of you who are interested in that form that Dante has, ask to join the group, and that way you'll have access to that, because that is so crucial right there. Like you said, you having a piece of paper at the beginning of the week, planning your week out, knowing what you want, looking at, and like you said, physical. I mean, thinking about your physical is really crucial in the process, and like that's where you start, because if you're not physically feeling well, it's going to be impossible to complete those other tasks. So great information. Do we have any other thoughts, any questions from our listeners before we close this hangout, because we're getting close to the end? Any other thoughts out there?
I just want to say, yay, Dante, that was awesome information.
Oh, thank you.
Sandy, any final thoughts you want to share?
No, it was just great today to help all our listeners out, and Dante came in at the last minute, which was brilliant, icing on the cake. But yeah, no, it's been fantastic, because when we are teaching other people, we're also teaching ourselves as well. So all of us will have benefited today, and that book is so good. So I'm looking forward to reading where we read today and just going over it, because that is great benefit for all of us. Every single one of us, we might be teaching all our listeners everything, but we also do it ourselves. We have to. It's so important what we are putting into our minds. We have total control over our lives. We really and truly do. You've got to always remember that anything that you do in life has a knock-on effect on somebody else. So if you're smiling at somebody when you see them down the street, that has an effect on that person who might have been miserable that morning to then go and do something good for somebody else. When we have a situation where, you know, people just been awful, it's simply because people have lost the connection with each other and misinterpreted, and you know, and then bad things tend to happen that way. So if everybody really and truly just loves each other and gives out that love, then it's just like a ripple in a pond. You know, you throw a stone in and it ripples out to everybody else, and that's really what this life is about. So I think there's too much of materialism, too much of you know, what outer appearance and what people look like. People, you know, even if somebody's limp or lame or, you know, blind, there's people that in society that will just walk away from those people that are begging. We have to really and truly respect everybody on the planet and treat everybody the way that we would want to be treated, because when we do that, then we have a most beautiful place, because, you know, we're all connected with each other, we're all loving each other, and when you give out that love in just anything, just a smile, just a favor to somebody, anything at all, you know, give them your last Rolo or whatever, you know, your last sweet, it will come back to you. So everyone has to take that responsibility, and we here today have given you all the tools really, and told you how to go about making you feel better in your life, by simply taking a few steps to sit down by yourself, a quiet time, and just write down what you actually want, where you want to go. Get connected with you. That's the most important thing. So I hope people do take that on board.
Thank you very much, Sandy. I really appreciate each one of you. I appreciate you coming out and joining me this morning to bring our listeners so much great value. I really could not have done this without you. My heart is full. I'm excited about the lives that are going to be transformed, the things that are going to be taking place in the lives of our listeners, and even in ourselves, you know, because we can learn from one another. And I think that's the greatest thing, that we are able to learn and encourage and empower one another in the process of this entire thing. So I want to just say thank you again for coming out. Please make sure you like our channel so that you can stay updated on our videos, on our trainings. You will find us here Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're always looking forward to seeing you here. Also, I wanted to let you know that tomorrow we're actually going to be going through you want to get a creative visualization notebook. So I want to encourage you tomorrow to get a notebook, have a notebook ready, because we're going to be going through some actual workbook process with you so that you can actually begin to experience this truthfully. It's one thing to read something, it's another thing to talk about something, but it becomes even more powerful when you write it down. So what we're going to do is tomorrow we're going to just like have you doing some little, we won't, you know, have it big and, you know, like a lot of work, but I want to encourage you to get a notebook and bring a notebook with you tomorrow so that we can go through some of the techniques that are going to help you to get past that. And writing down is crucial. And I think sometimes, you know, we want to just like go off and do it by ourselves, but we won't. But if we're in a group setting, if there's, you know, more than one, then we'll do that together. So I want to do that tomorrow also. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate for you all coming in and listening. If you do want to join us in our spiritual equipping, you can dial 712-432-1500, and the access code is 869040#. And we're going to meet over there at 12:15, anyone that's interested. Ladies, gentlemen, you have a great, great day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with your notebooks so we can take massive action. Have an awesome day.